Come in. चालू आप थोड़ा एक खुर्सी आपो ने सामे આવી જાય તો I can see તમે બધા સામે બેહો એ ઈચ્છું છું आप सब उधर बैठ जाइए जरा कुर्सी ले ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति 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 ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ओम शांति 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 श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ओम अच्छा लाइट से करो मंत्र नंबर 4 we can start with 3 then 4 यदा पश्यः पश्यते रुक्मवर्णं यदा पश्यः पश्यते रुक्मवर्णं कर्तारमीशं पुरुषं ब्रह्मयोनिं कर्तारमीशं पुरुषं ब्रह्मयोनिं तदा विद्वान् पुण्यपापे विधूय तदा विद्वान् पुण्यपापे विधूय निरञ्जनः परमं साम्यमुपैति निरञ्जनः परमं साम्यमुपैति नेक्स्ट मंत्र प्राणो ह्येष यः सर्वभूतैर्विभाति प्राणो ह्येष यः सर्वभूतैर्विभाति विजानन् विद्वान् भवते नातिवादी विजानन् विद्वान् भवते नातिवादी आत्मक्रीड आत्मरतिः क्रियावान् आत्मक्रीड आत्मरतिः क्रियावान् एष ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः एष ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः Last mantra we concluded, third number. Yada pashyaha pashyate rukma varnam vidwan kartaram purusham tada kim bhavati sa vidwan punya pape vidyaha paramam samyam upaiti kasmat niranjana san. He becomes niranjana, free from any blemish, free from any impurity. Ultimate, that word we had not discussed. Ultimate impurity is self-ignorance. What is impurity? Please understand. That which is not true to its nature. Anything foreign in a given vastu is an impurity. Vastu as such is not impurity. A particle or some part of copper in a golden ornament is impurity. But copper in a copper vessel is not impurity. It is natural. Anything that is foreign, anything that is outside, anything that is not natural is impurity. So what is not natural to me? Ignorance is not natural to me. Self-ignorance is original impurity. Ignorance is not tangible. Ignorance is not perceptible. It is inferred. How? When someone sees a snake in place of rope, then you say, the fellow will say, I see rope. The other says, no, it is snake. I am very clear about it. When that person says, I see the snake, and this person says, no, it is rope, then this fellow says, if it is rope, how do I see as a snake? The answer is ignorance. Therefore, it is called causal body. When we talk of three sharira, sthula, sukshma, karana sharirat vyatiriktaha. Karana sharira is not a sharira as such, but sharira dvayasya karanatvat karanamapi shariram uchyate. Though they translate as causal body, and some very bright fellows in English will translate it as a casual body. I've heard people talking. There are three bodies. One is gross body, second is subtle body, and third is casual body. That causal body, that is the status of being the cause of those two sharira in a figurative way, in an upcharik way, ignorance is called as causal body. Therefore, it is an anadi avidya rupam. Sharira dvayasya karana rupam. We have seen this definition in Tattva Bodha. So, ignorance not being perceptible. You don't see ignorance per se. But the conclusion that aham samsari, the conclusion that aham alpaha, the conclusion that aham dukhi, conclusion or feeling that I am not at home with myself, the conclusion that aham apurna, that is the first expression of ignorance. That, or in other words, Shastric language, if I say, the existence of a jiva is an expression of ignorance. So ultimate impurity is jiva. Niranjana san punya pape viduya. He gives up punya papa because the basic impurity, namely jiva, is removed. And punya papas are credited too. They stand in the name of jivatma. When jiva itself is not there, punya papa have no locus to manifest. No adhishthanam to fructify. Therefore, punya pape viduya. What Bhagavan said in Gita, Gnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. As such, there very beautifully Bhagavad Path Shankaracharya ji explained that Bhashya. Though the verse says Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. It burns away all the karmas. No. How can it burn away? Karma, if it manifests, then there is a burning possible. The prarabdha alone is manifest. Sanchitas and agamis are in a subtle form. How can you burn it that? In a seed form. And if the prarabdha is burnt, that means no sooner the knowledge takes place, Jivatma gets burnt out. You know, like jihadi, the fellow suicide bomber, he gets burnt out, he kills other. And then if that happens, this is how people talk. This Vedanta, they just don't know what they are blabbering. They say Jivatma is destroyed. Please explain. If there is no ahankara is destroyed, there is some badhita ahankara. We will see in the next mantra. It has to be there. Otherwise, if nobody is there, then there is avidvat parampara. If to have a guru shishya parampara, to have a gnana parampara, it should have some entity. Vyavaharik we accept. That is called badhita. Therefore, Shankaracharya ji very beautifully says, burns down all the karmas means nirbiji karoti dagdha bijavat. That's a word there in Bhashya. Dagdha bijavat. When the seeds are roasted, it loses its capacity to germinate. It loses its capacity to sprout. Similarly, all sanchitas get burnt out. They lose the capacity to fructify. Why? The very jivatma is gone. The ahankara is gone. Individual. So jiva is original impurity is ignorance. Manifestation of ignorance is in the form of jiva. And please understand this. I have been telling nth number of time and I'll tell this. Translation of jiva is not ego. Okay. The right translation is karta bhokta. The status, that self-identity. How I know myself. Self-knowledge that I am doer and I am enjoyer. That is jiva. Hanta chen manyate hantum hatas chen manyate hatam ubhav tau na vijanitaha nayam hanti na hanyate. Neither there is a kartrutvam hanti hanana kriyaha kartaham nasti hanana kriyaha karma means bhokta abhi aham nasmi. So jiva means the English translation, though they say ego, 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 but even if you use the word ego, somebody uses, you should understand that is karta bhokta. Because when there is a karta and there is a bhokta, then only karma phalas are there. Then only karma is there. So, Niranjana San, becoming free from kartrutva bhoktrutva, that means thereafter there is doership. But what kind of doership? Badhita ahankar. Technically. Or as Puja Swamiji would say, enlightened ego. Vedavyasa also had it. Bhagavad Shankaracharya also had it, some kartrutva. In a sense, when Vedavyasa ji writes in Mahabharata, what all is there in all the Shastras is here. And anything that is not here is found nowhere. That is individual, that is ahankara, but it is badhita. Understand? So Niranjanaha means having thereafter the jivatma being gone. What is badhitaha? The wise person knows my kartrutvam is incidental. What is incidental kartrutvam? Just as kingship or beggarliness of a beggar or a king on a stage, on a dais, on a platform, in a movie, actor knows it is incidental. What does it mean by incidental? This incident of my wearing the beggarly dress has caused me to be beggar. There is a full awareness that I am not a beggar. That even if I say I am a beggar, Allah ke naam pe de do. You know, because Ishwar ke naam pe maagna nahi, wo to Lakshmipati hai. Therefore Allah ke naam pe hi maagna hai. you remember Vishnu, Lakshmi will come. So you have not to beg. You have to beg only Allah can help. That is only few good things that the Hindi movies have done. They have said, Allah के नाम पे दे दो. They never say भगवान के नाम पे दे दो, शिव के नाम पे दे दो, विष्णु के नाम पे दे दो. Because Shiva and Vishnu are so great. Lakshmi is there behind Vishnu. She is a pativrata. So whenever you remember Vishnu, Lakshmi will come. And who is Shiva? That Mahimna Stotra says, Devas Bhavat Pru Pranihita. The Devata, the gods have that riches and power only by just kataksha. Just looking by Shiva, Shiva looked at them. That grace flew to them. So you don't have to beg in that Shiva's name or Vishnu's name. You just pray Vishnu and he gives. He's a kalpa ruksha, Prapanna parijataya totra vetreka pade. So it is right thing they have done. Allah can naam pe. Anyway, let me come back to this. So when this fellow is begging, he knows it is incidental. What is badhita kartrutvam? The wise person knows that kartrutvam is incidental. What is incidental for me? Since I am wielding this body-mind complex, this Sthula Sukshma Upadhi, this Sthula Sukshma Upadhi will continue because of the prarabdha. The prarabdha has started fructifying. Until it ends, I have to hang on. I have to be there in this body as an individual. That is incidentally a man or woman or a Swami or a Shishya or Guru, whatever it is. That is awareness. Understand? That is Niranjana. So, and then he says, Niranjana San Paramam Samyam Upaiti. He gains oneness with Brahman, sameness. That means he discovers that I was Brahman even when I thought myself not to be the one. I took myself to be a Brahman. Even when I thought I am a Brahma, I was Brahman. Even when I thought myself to be Anishvara, this is how somehow these Indians have named, there is a Nama Shastra, Namakarana Samskara. And they give the names. I know one lady, her name is Alpa. She is 78 kg. How can it be Alpa? Alpa means small, and just 5 feet 2 inches and 78 kg. She should not be called as Alpa. If you want to give some name, give some sensible name. You should, even if she is a thin and lean lady, you should say Brother. She is a big one. That's good. You are a big man. You are a big woman. You are Vibhu Atma, Mahantam Vibhu Atmanam. So you are Vibhu. Give proper name. Similarly, there is a name of the man also. Anish. Idiot. Of course, you can make Bahuri Samasa. Ishvara Yasya Nasti Sa Anisha. That's okay. But Anish, that means I am not Ishvara. That you don't give to name. The lady fellow has concluded. Why you confirm that conclusion? Anyway. That's what we said, first mantra. Tva suparna sayuja sakhaya samane vrukshe vippalam swadu asti. Tayohanya anasnan abhichakashiti. Anishaya shochati. So Anish is not a good name, actually. Unless the fellow has some grey matter inside and interprets. Anish is the one who has no Ishvara. I am the ultimate Ishvara. That Bhagavan says, Jagatav Pitamaha. I am the Pitama. Pitama. That is Anisha. It's okay. Paramam Samyam Upaiti. Gains oneness with the Brahman, which means it is not gaining. It is discovery. I have told again and again, in Shastra, whenever going and gaining, Kriyapadas meaning reaching or gaining are used, it only means knowing. Since it is said because we want to go. Yad gatvana nivartan. Life being a travel, so yes, there is a destination. Having reached, you will not come back. Life is nothing but praptihi. Apraptasya. Yoga kshema is a life. So it is you will gain that. There is no real gaining. Okay? Something can be gained if it is away from. In terms of time, space, or objectivity. Brahman is not away in terms of time, space, and of desha kala vastutaha duram nasti. Tad dure tadu antikecha. Where is gaining? So gaining is in terms of knowing. Now this next mantra, we have to see that. Look at the fourth one, which again I will read. Prano hyeshah yas sarva bhutair vibhati. Prano hyeshah yas sarva bhutair vibhati. Vijanan vidvan bhavate nativadi. Vijanan vidvan bhavate nativadi. Atmakrida atmaratih kriyavan. Atmakrida atmaratih kriyavan. Esha brahma vidham varishtaha. Esha brahma vidham varishtaha. Again. Prano hyesha sarva bhuteir vibhati. Vijanan vidvan bhavate nativadi. Prano hyesha sarva bhuteir vibhati. Vijanan vidvan bhavate nativadi. Atmakrida atmaratih kriyavan. Esha brahma vidham varishtaha. Atmakrida atmarati kriyavan. Esha brahma vidam varishtaha. What a beautiful mantra. These are all Mahavakyas, if you understand properly. Esha prana. Kim rupa prana? Kaha esha? Esha. This is prana. What is this? Yaha sarva bhutaihi vibhati. The one who shines, one who reveals in all beings. How? Aham, aham. Balyadishvapi jagradadishu tatha sarvasvavasthasvapi vyavrittasvanu vartamanam aham, aham, aham antaspurantam sada. That which reveals as I. That I which is Svatasiddha. Shining means self-revealing. That for which you don't require any pramana to know. That for which pramana, prameya, pramata, vehvara, apeksha, nasti. That is bhati. Don't imagine shining. These fellows don't study Shastra. And they talk, there is light within. Then meditate, and there's a divine light. I don't know what is divine. Divine is unqualifiable, unqualified adjective. Divine light. What is divinity? Light is not light. You don't think of sunlight or electricity light. Light is Swata Siddha Eva Prakasha. Kim Rupa Swata Siddhatvam Pramana, Prameya, Pramata, Vyavhara, Rahita. Siddha. It is, you don't require that vibhati. And then Vidwan, Vijanan, one who knows that, Yaha Vijanan Vidwan Bhavati. One who knows that becomes wise person, and then Na Ativadi Bhavati. He or she does not cross the maryada of his discourse or talks. This is a little dicey word. This is where you require a parampara. This is where you require a Shrotri Acharya to tell you what it is. And I will see that. Atma Kridaha, Atmarati. He sports in Atma. He revels in Atma. Atma means me. Atma means I. Jethalal Champaklal, the Tapuda's father. That is I. He revels in himself. And Kriyavan also performs action. And Yesha, this person, Brahma Vidam Varishta, is the most exalted among the knowers of Brahman. This also requires Shrotri Acharya. Because I'll explain that later, but there is a contradiction. Why? There is another shloka. Ko yogi krishno bhogi nrupalau janakaragavu karmanishtaha vashishtadyaha gnaninas sarve sama. There is no difference between wise. There is no comparative and superlative. You cannot, this is wise, other fellow is more wiser, and the third one is the wisest among all. You can have wisest among all in aparavidya. Because what is wisdom? Wisdom is purnamada, that I am full, not F-O-O-L. I was F-O-O-L, now I am F-U-L-L, full. Aham purnosmi. I am infinity. How can there be comparison in infinity? You cannot say this infinity is greater than that infinity and this ultimate infinity. These are all Dvaita fellows talk. Purna Purushottam and half Purushottam and quarter Purushottam. Yeah, they don't understand Shastra properly. Tatparya Nishcha is not there. And then these another yoga fellows talk. There are 7 avasthas of wisdom. What is this avastha? Nonsense. Either you know or you don't know. There are only 2 avastha. And avastha is only one. Having known, there is no avastha. Turiya, though we say avastha, is not an avastha. It is like that Sharira Traya. Causal body is a body because it's a cause of the 2. Turiya avastha, they say, it is not 4th one. It is in and through all the 3. All the 3 exist because of the 4th one. The 4th one alone is 3 and still independent of the 3. Sarva Vyapi Api Sarvatita. That is called eminence and transcendent. Since it happens to be transcendental, it is therefore called Turiya. But Turiya is in and through all the 3. 3 are mithya. That is what we should know. Therefore, there is no avastha. Anyway, that's a Mandukya discussion. When we go there, we'll see. But so, there is no Brahma Vidam Varishta. We have to understand that properly. Look at this word. Eshaha. Kim eshaha? Yah sarva bhutaihi vibhati. That which shines, that which reveals as I in all that. That is this. What this? That pakshi, that bird who is Pippalam Swaduvatti, that Jivatma is Sarva Bhutaihi. That means this is Mahavakya. Tattvamasi. This is that verse, this 13th chapter verse comes from here. I mean, there are so many mantras which you can connect to that verse. I mean, that verse can be reversed, I should say. Mantras you cannot connect to verse. Verse can be connected to Vedic mantra. That's the right way of saying. That 13th chapter, Bhagavan says, you know, this idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya vidiyate. Etadyo vetti tamprahu kshetragna iti tadvida. Then second shloka is kshetragnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharat. Sarva kshetreshu eka eva kshetragna eva mantreshu mantre uktam. Kim uktam? Yah sarva bhutaihi vibhati. That which shines. Who is that? Yesha. Yaha. Yah dva suparna sayuja sakhaya. Among that, yah pippalam swaduvatti saeva sarva bhutaihi vibhati. Saeva rukma varnam. Saeva isham jagatah isham. That is what was told in the previous mantra. That is the one. Okay. This is Mahavakya. And then Yah sarva pranaha. It is called prana. What is prana? That life-sustaining force. You know, the technical definition, another technical definition of jiva. Though few minutes ago I said jiva means karta bhokta. But another definition is jiva from, I am talking of etymology, grammatically. The verb jiva, one other stroke, half. Jiva means prana dharane. one who holds the prana, one who sustains the prana. Oh, that is karta bhokta ultimately. But then one who holds the prana is saved. That is what eminence aspect. The Turiya is in and through all of them. Yeshaha pranaha. The one who was revealed as Brahma Yonim, one who was revealed as Jagadah Karta, one who yatha urnana srujate grunnate tatha aksharat sambhavati vishwam. That Jagataha Vishwasya Karanam, Brahma Karanam is pranaha. Sa yesha eva sarva bhutaihi vibhati, shines. And then he says, Iha vijanati sa vidwan bhavati. The correct meaning of a wise person, vidwan, is knower of the self. Who is vidwan? The one who is, in context with this Upanishad, I can say, one who knows paravidya. Atha para yaya tad aksharam adhigam. That akshara tat aksharam yaha janati sa eva vidwan. Okay? Vijanati vidwan, and he says, na bhavate ativadi. He doesn't become na bhavate ativadi. He doesn't cross the limits in establishing himself. In other words, establish his viewpoint. Shankaracharya ji writes this. Why he doesn't say? What is the definition of how he explains Ativadi? Atitya sarvan anyan vaditum shilam asya iti ativadi. Means one who doesn't, atitya sarvan vidwan, one who crosses the limits of discourse to establish his own point of view compared to others is ativadi. He doesn't become ativadi. Means what? He doesn't care. He doesn't want to prove himself because he knows. Why he doesn't cross? What all they are talking is mithya. What they are talking is ignorance. We have seen earlier. Aparavidya is avidya. Listen this carefully. Any knowledge other than Brahmajnana, all science, all commerce, and anything you talk about is ultimately ignorance. You know why? More you know, more you discover what all you don't know. More is aparavidya, avidya hi sa. Bhagavad Pada has written that. Like a doctor, an MBBS doctor will treat all kinds of patients. You have a back pain, he will give pink tablet, yellow tablet, white tablet, some syrup. You have a headache, he will give you tablet. You have eye problem, he will give a problem. You have ortho problem, he will give a tablet. But then if you go specialist to orthopedic and say, I have urinary problem, then he says, go to urologist. I have eye problem. He says, no, you go to ophthalmologist. He will not treat the patient. Even if his wife has it, he will say, go to my friend. And even when you have a specific retina problem, the fellow may be MS in orthopedic, but if there is a retina issue, he says, this is not my area, you go to the other guy. Means more you study, more you discover what all you do not know in that subject. In any given subject, nobody can claim, I know everything. In fact, they become more humble because they know they are more conscious about what all they do not. It is only Gnanam where you know everything because it is Purna. Brahmanaha Purnatvat Brahma Gnanena Purna Bhavati. So Paravidya Eva Vidya, Aparavidya Avidya Hisa. Therefore, na bhavate ativadi. Yoti Vidwan talk this means what? In other words, he doesn't talk anything other than the self. Now, please understand this sentence. This I told you require a tradition. They don't study the Shastra from a teacher. And these are called spiritual hobos. American word hobo. They are hobos. I am Brahmagnani. Their tone will change. Their expression will change. Their eyes change. Their words change. क्या चाहिए बेटा? ये सब मिथ्या है. I have seen Westerners learning this and say, ये सब मिथ्या है, मिथ्या है. अरे मिथ्या. Gujarati, Mara Pitya Mitya is a different meaning. There's a Mitya. All nonsense. Wise person is most normal person. You don't need to change. No, I will not talk anything other than Brahman. Idiot, you don't know Brahman. Why? I'll tell you. They say, we should not get involved into mundane things. We should live only spiritual life and be only spiritual. Idiot doesn't know what is spiritual. There is nothing away from Brahman. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarva. How can you get away from it? You can't get away. What you call mundane is no mundane. That is your munda problem. Problem. Wrong thinking problem. There is no mundane. Everything is spiritual. Even culturally, everything is spiritual for a Hindu. Therefore, for us, everything is divine. Jagat is pujya, not bhogya for us. Therefore, we worship mountains and rivers and cows and buffaloes and rats and snakes and anything you name, we worship. Because it is Ishavasyam. The whole creation is non-separate from the Ishvara till you discover you have that attitude. Siya Rama mai jagjani karu pranam gurpan janupan. All Ishvara. What is the spirituality? It is here. It is cognitive, not in Vyavara, not in showing off. I am a meditative person and I want to revel in Brahman all the time. The real revelation is with open eyes. It is not by closing the eye. You cannot compartmentalize. That means you have Brahman in only meditation. That means you are Mukta in meditation only. And when you come out, you become samsari. ये क्या कबड्डी गेम है क्या? उधर गया, उधर कबड्डी करके उधर गए, वापस आ गए. Then you are in one party. Then कबड्डी. Then वापस. Nonsense. Ati na bhavate ativadi. There is an appreciation here. Everything is Brahman. You can't be away from it, even if you want. Understand? Vidwan na bhavate ativadi means, therefore Bhagavad Gita verse is there, ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanya. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha munehe. Kim rupe, kim so, what is the visheshana? Kim vishishta munehe? Sa nisha pashyate, sa nisha pashyataha mune. One who knows. There is a night. So the point is there are no compartments. Understand? Whole world is manifestation of one truth. Not that I will not talk anything about world. Why should you not? What's wrong in it? This is all nonsense. I don't touch money. Why should you not? Why are you afraid of money? And all kinds of stories are going on, floating, Some Swami and some Guru was touching the moon and Shishya thought, let me test my Guru and put a 1 rupee coin under the bed. And Guru went to bed, and as though Guru had a 240-volt shock, electric shock, Guru jumped out of the bed. There is Lakshmi, money inside, and came out. Swami Dayanji very nicely said, if Guru jumped out because of 1 rupee, who is powerful, 1 rupee or Guru? It is mithya. Nothing wrong in touching money. I don't see woman, that's good. But she is also an expression of divinity. Problem is not with the woman's body. Problem is your thinking. How you look at it. The whole world, there is no problem outside except your improper way of looking at things. That's all the whole message of the Shastra is. What is Vedanta? What is Vairagya? You cut the things to the size. See it objectively. And ultimately, what is Vedanta? See that there is no size. Whole thing is mithya. Why you bother for it? It doesn't affect me, anything, whatever it is. I am a different reality. It's a different reality. Let it be what it is. Let it be the play of Ishvara or Maya, whatever you call it, and you enjoy the word. That's okay. It's all non-thinking thing. And people praise this, not understanding Shastras. It is not a problem with the women. It is then tomorrow women will also say, I'm sure after 50 years, I hope I survive to see that. They will also create a new sampradaya. Men are not allowed. And we will not see the face of the man. And if you see the face, they say, if you see the man of face of the woman, you have to do fasting for one day. I don't know. They should die by fasting like Jain Santaro. Because the moment you step out, there are advertisements. Marketing boards are there. You open the TV, there is nothing without woman. How can you see this? Nonsense. See look at this. Just to support the statement. If you see Arjuna, just at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, he expresses Chinha, Lingani, is a person who is in stress. If you read any book of psychology, what are the symptoms of the stress? That is classic description is Arjuna. Siddhanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyate vepatusya sharire me roma arsasya jayate gandivam samsrate hasta tvakchaiva paridayate nacha shakno me vastatum brahmati vacha me manah nimittani cha pasyami. That is the height of thinking. He is a stupid fellow is looking at up Krishna himself. And he says, Bhagavan, mujhe apshukan dikh raha hai. You are seeing Mangalanam, Mangala Devatam, Devatanam. Your Bhutanam, Abhyat Pita, we chant his name. He tells this. He's stressed out. What did Bhagavan do? Did he change the external situation? Nothing. The same Bhishma, same Drona, same Duryodhana, same thing, and he remained the same place. And his eyes also did not change. He did not give him some glass whereby he can see something else, like 4D, 3D glasses. No. It remained same. His perception changed. And he says, Karishya Vachanam Tava. The world is not a problem. It is ultimately self-ignorance is a problem. However you meditate, Swamiji would very nicely used to say, the ignorant fellow, he is the English word idiot. That's what he used to say. Self Atma Agnani. So formally he was agitated idiot. Now became quiet idiot, but idiot all the time. Ignorance doesn't go by meditation. Otherwise you sleep and wake up, ignorance should have been gone. Doesn't go. Pramana Vyapara is necessary. There's a big confusion in India also. They meditate and that doesn't take, so stupid. If meditation was a solution, Krishna would have put Arjuna to meditation. Why should he teach him? Why should Rama be taught by Vasishtha, Yoga Vasishtha? So many. Why should Yajnavalkya teach his wife by 3? So many examples I can give. It doesn't work. But so much of orientation and conditioning, they think I am fool. That is what Yanisha Sarva Bhutana. A wise man is considered as a fool. And the fools think they are wise. That's what I keep quiet, except my class. I don't tell anything. Let them have the way. It doesn't solve the problem. You have to study Shastra. It doesn't prove any which way. Anyway, and not only Arjuna, but Krishna sent Uddhava to teach to gopis. Bhakti was everything. You cannot find a better bhakta than gopis. But still he saw the need that to get moksha, they ought to know the self. They ought to have Brahma Vidya. And if I go, they will not look at me as a teacher. They will look at me as their beloved. So he taught Uddhava and sent him over there. Why should Shiva teach Parvati and Amarnath story should come? Whole Amarnath cave story is the same thing. We have bought this. As they say, American, you buy it. And they have bought it. Then again, apne gali kiya chhe aa badhu. Anyway, so this na bhavate ativadi. Means he knows there is nothing other than Brahman. Understand? So the world is mithya and it has its own order. I need not run away and I need not indulge in them. Exactly like you still play with your grandchildren the game of business, monopoly as they call it in West, money and all that. But then it doesn't affect you any which way. And who is he? Atmaratihi Atmakridaha. As such, these two words are same, Krida and Rati. But for Krida, sporting, you need someone else. At least you need sadhana. For Rati, you don't need anything. What does it mean? With the world or without the world, fellow is rooted in self. That Bhajagovindam shloka, Yogarato va, Bhogarato va, Sangarato va, Sangavihinaha, Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam, Nandati, Nandati, Nandati. That is what Krida and Rati. Basically, they mean same things. But this wise person, with the world and without the world, there is self-awareness. He knows who am I. And that knowledge is not displaced because of nididhyasa. What Shastra word is Gnana Nishta. And he says, now this confusion. A wise man should sit in the cave, should not speak. We had one hobo in Rishikesh, when I was in Rishikesh in 80, 82, 84, 85. He was that one Mahatma was living on Ganga Kinara. Bas Mastaram, some Baba was there. He says he is a Maha. Everybody used to come and tell me. I have to keep quiet because I can't explain the whole Shastra. He is a Mahagnani, Brahmanishta. I said, how do you know? Stupid. To know somebody Brahmanishta, you should be Brahmanishta. You should know Brahman, then only you can certify. If I am a good surgeon or whatever discipline, neurosurgeon, then only I can know who is a good neurosurgeon. Otherwise, I can't certify he is a good neurosurgeon. So this fellow is a Brahmanishta. I said, okay. Why is Brahmanishta? Akarta. This is another point. Akarta bhav mein sthita. Idiot. It is not bhava, it is you. Bhava is emotion. It comes and goes. Sakshi bhava. This is another stupid thing going on. I am in Sakshi bhava. What is this bhava? Sakshi is not witnessing. To de-identify from what is anatma, the temporary status of sakshitva is given. We are not creating this division of witness and witnessed. The witnessed is not separate from aham purna. That is the knowledge. The sakshitvam is incidental. Avasthatraya sakshi, I am not really sakshi. Shastra negates this, and this is our experience. We know this, you cannot be sakshi. If I am a sakshi, then I am a small little fellow watching all the things. And watching also, it creates identification. Then you are a samsari. It is told sakshi to negate the sense of I from body-mind complex. But that is not adhyaropapada bhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. That is adhyaropapada. That is what this our Shakha Chandra Nyaya. Then it is told, Yaha Sakshi Sarva Bhuteshu Eka. And then further it is told, Yaha Bhutani Saeva Sakshi Swami. I am not a witness to my body complex. I am the witness in all bodies. And that the witness is all pervasive, nothing is away from him. And they think I am Sakshi Bhava. Nonsense, Sakshi Bhava. It is not Bhava. It is you. And you are not Sakshi, you are beyond Sakshi. The Sakshyam is not separate from you. Aham Jagat Karanam, that witness is the cause of the entire creation. Yatova imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayante abhisamvishanti, tad vijignasasva, tad brahmeti, yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. That is you. That is why This Baba was in a Sakshi Baba. Means what? Doesn't do anything. If somebody goes and feeds him, then only he eats. Swamiji used to quote him also. Then Swamiji one day lost his patience for whatever reason. One fellow was talking too much. He says, okay, he eats given by somebody. Achha. Does he chew by himself or somebody does like this? You have to do Kriya. I don't do anything. And does he digest or somebody puts machine to digest inside? Nahi kaschit kshyanamapi jato tishtatya karma. We have to do. These are all notions. He doesn't do anything, doesn't talk, keeps quiet and talks in a tone. These are all useless things. I repeatedly tell you, wise person is the most normal person. I have nothing against and nothing for. Let it be what it is. Let Ishvara play his role in Kriya Jagat and I just play my role, whatever I have to play. That's all. The game is over. Prarabdha, Prarabdham Pushyati Bapu. Let there is a Prarabdha continue. Therefore, he hears, Upanishad says, Kriya Avar, does activity. Remember, I told in the earlier section, Kriya Avar means Badhita Ahankar. His activities are like an actor on the stage. King playing the role of a king, but he is not doing anything. Kriya presupposes Ahankar, but this is the Badhita Ahankar. Therefore, I took up the discussion at the beginning. And Brahma Vidam Varishta. As I told you, there is no comparison between wise person. Okay? You can say this is a greater wise person than that great wise. People tell me also, Swamiji Mahagnani hai, as though Kam Gnani hota hai. Gnani, knowledge is knowledge. Brahma Shabda has many meanings. One of the meaning is Veda. Brahma means Brahmaji also. Brahma means Brahmana also. Brahma means Satyam Gnanandam Anantam Brahma also. You have to see the context. Brahma Vida means Veda Gnani Nam Madhya Varishta. Kasmad Varishta. Look at the 15th chapter. Vedaisha Sarvaihi Ahameva Vedya. The whole essence of Vedya, the crux, the bottom line, as I say in English, what is to be known is only Brahman. So people study Veda. Among all the knowers of Veda, people study Upanishad. People teach Upanishad. Unless and until that Brahmakara vritti takes place, Akhandakara vritti takes place, you are this is all zero without one. And once this takes place, that is Brahma. That is Varishta. Because you know what is to be known. All these sadhana are meant you to drive to this knowledge. And I can say further, whole Varnashram Vyavastha, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Varna, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, Ashrama, if you live as per the Vedic way and Vedic vision of life, they are all meant to help you to discover that you are Brahman. Until then, it is all Aparavidya. Therefore, earlier also we had in the first Mundaka we have seen what is Paravidya. Yata Daksharamadigamit. What is Aparavidya? Rugvedo, Yajurvedo, Samvedo, Atharvedo, and that Sad Vedanga, Nyaya, Chando, Vyakarana, Jyotish, Shiksha, Vyakarana, Kalpa, etc. These are all Aparavidyas. So Brahma Vidam Varishta means all the knowers of Upanishads, all the knowers of Vedas, Mantra Gnatara, one who has Purna Akhandakar Vritti, that is a Varishta. Okay, we'll see something more about this in tomorrow's class, hopefully. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Namaste.